Hey everybody, it's Steve, obviously. Who else would it be? I'm just here at Subway. I just got out of Yale. Took like long enough to have that appointment. And so, thus it begins again. Another journey of medical procedures as usual. It's like I'm a full-time patient at that hospital. But like I said, I deal with a lot of sufferings, a lot of crosses. The only thing I know to do with my health issues is offer them up for the conversion of and salvation of my family and friends. I offer it up with Jesus' sufferings. Life is gonna bring us down at times. It's gonna be tough. There's gonna be suffering. There's gonna be pain. There's gonna be loss, illness, tragedies. I mean, that's my life story. That's everybody's life story on this planet. But you know what? It becomes your currency, your heavenly currency, if you know what to do with it. You could complain and grumble, and I do enough of that also. I'm not saying I'm a saint, but you can let your sufferings bring you down, and steal your joy, or you can roll with the punches and become stronger spiritually and mentally. And you offer it up. You don't waste the suffering. I don't care if it's a toothache, a stubbed toe, cancer, whatever. Surgeries, losses. Offer it up. Always offer it up to the Lord Jesus Christ for reparation for sins committed against His Sacred Heart and the Immaculate Heart of His Mother Mary, and offer it up for the conversion of souls and poor sinners. I offer it up for my family, because my family's a bunch of real tough nuts. So, I swear I'm suffering so much for them, because they just, God help them. So, I love them very much, even though they don't love me, obviously. They've orphaned me, but I still miss them and love them, and I told the Lord I would give my life for them. So, I offer up my sufferings, my medical procedures, my poverty, my whatever life throws my way for them. So I hope they appreciate that one day when I'm gone, or when we're on the other side. I hope we all just end up on the other side in heaven, and then it'll all be worth it. In the meantime, I just wanted to do a quick video, give you guys an update on that. It goes along with my last post about why I look old and fat and tired some days, and then some days I look younger and thinner and great complexion. A lot of it has to do with sleep and diet, but it also has to do with when I receive Holy Communion in a state of grace and all that. That really helps. I do have thyroid issues, so I'll gain and lose large amounts of weight and body fluid daily. So you never know what I'm going to look like. Today's a so-so day. Some days I look like this, and I don't use that stupid Facebook app where it makes your face look all young and stuff. I don't do that. Some days I literally do look like that, and some days I look like this, and some days I look like the other day, the last video where I really looked fat and beat. But anyway, who cares about our looks anymore, honestly? I'm 40 years old, and I live for the Lord now. I'm not here looking for a wife, unless that's God's will. And, I still very much want to be a priest or religious, but right now I got to get through this hurdle now, the end of 2020, and all these medical issues again that I'm dealing with. Probably stress-induced, but who knows. Anyway, so I'm just going to do a quick grace. I think that it's important to remind you guys that we have to thank God every day when we get up. Thank God in the morning before you put your feet on the floor for another day of life. Thank Him for the food and beverages you eat every day and the money to buy it, because there's a lot of people starving. Me, if it wasn't for God providing, I would never be able to even eat. I'm eating Subway right now because it's my first meal of the day, literally, because I had to fast before going to the doctors and stuff. So I eat usually 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, if that. Most of the time it's because it's painful for me to eat with my condition, but also because I've stretched the money, and also because time, I'm trying to work and stuff. Sometimes a lot of things come up. Anyway, so I'm going to show you how I do grace, okay? I do my own thing, and at the seminary they thought it was too long and rigid, but, you could always say the generic version, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we're about to receive from thy bounty, through Christ our Lord. Amen. But I think that God gets tired of hearing those mechanical, monotonous, no thought, no heart involved words, So So I speak from the heart when I pray, and I say, Lord, thank you for this gift of another beautiful day of life. Thank you for the time we have, the time you've given us. Thank you for the food that we have. If I've cooked it, I'll say thank you, Lord, for giving me the wisdom to know how to make another good meal. Because I'm not a cook, so I just get inspired, and it always turns out good. I say thank you for the money to buy the food that I can cook so we can eat. Thank you for the food, and I say bless it to our bodies and our bodies to your service. And then I also say, Lord, I pray for the hungry to be fed and nourished, the naked to be clothed, the homeless to be sheltered, the lost to be converted and saved, and for your will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's how I say grace before meals, every meal. I'm not afraid to do it in public. I don't always make a spectacle. You don't do it intentionally to show everybody. But, if people don't like it, I get a lot of looks. Oh, well, it's their problem. I'm grateful to have a meal because I know what it's like to not have one. And Subway is like caviar to me. I mean, it's awesome because it's expensive, and so it's the healthiest thing I get most of the time, unless I cook myself, if we can afford groceries. So anyway, so learn to be thankful no matter what. I don't want to hear that you're sick and in pain and suffering. Trust me, I got a broken neck I've been dealing with. It needs another surgery. Very painful. Spinal tumor, I am a mess from head to toe. The only reason I'm looking healthy and moving around is God's grace. Literally. It is a miracle. The doctors even say that. They're like, you should be in a wheelchair. You should have been dead already. How do you live with all these issues and yet you look fine? But your tests show otherwise. That's God. That's grace, because he keeps you going when you work for him until your time is up. And I begged him, I said, like Mother Angelica, I said, Lord, please keep me out of a wheelchair. Please keep me going, and I will preach, and I will teach, and I will live for you, and I will do the best I can to be a saint and lead people to you. And he honors that end of the bargain. He does. And so I'm grateful, and so I have to do a good job because my health depends on it, and, my life depends on it. He feeds me. He supplies my every need. Yes, I go to work and this and that when I can, but it's not all about that. It's about that, living in the spirit and the supernatural. An attitude of joy and gratefulness, which I haven't mastered yet, but we have to master the fruits of the Spirit, which is joy, patience, love, mercy, all that stuff. And I have a long way to go with that. I'm not the most patient. I'm never joy-filled, and I'm trying to find joy and just, not take myself so seriously and trying to find joy even in the suffering. It's just kind of hard when every day is a struggle. But we have to. So I'm trying to be a good example to show people that no matter what you're facing in life, you can either be negative and miserable, or you can be optimistic and happy and make the best of it and try to be an encouragement to others. So that's what I do. And so that, without further ado, I'm going to get to my lunch, and then it's off to get a library. There's a job I'd really like. It's a security job. So if you guys can pray for me that I get it, I really, really need it. It's a lot more hours and stuff. In addition to the job I have, I'm going to keep both. I need it. And so pray for me that my health allow me to work, a lot more hours, and that I get the job that I want. And pray for, I got to go there and get my resume and go to the library. And then Donna and I have to go to the laundromat because, of course, we don't have washer and dryer hooked up yet properly. So they're still delaying on the installation, which has already been paid for months ago. It's another issue. And then I have to go to my fife and drum practice tonight and meetings. So busy, busy, busy all the time. For somebody, people say, oh, what do you do all day long? Work. I'm always working. In fact, I'm always taking care of Donna 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In the house and my job, and I minister. I'm always publicly ministering everywhere I go, doing rosaries, meeting people, evangelizing on the streets. I'm always working, and when I'm not working, I'm praying. So I'm praying all the time, working, and even my work becomes a prayer. My food becomes everything I do every minute of the day is a prayer. So my sufferings are a prayer. When I'm in a lot of pain, a lot of times the Lord will take that pain away as soon as I offer it up to him. I don't know how he does it. It's amazing, but he does it. Especially when I receive Holy Communion sometimes, amazing breaks. I'll get a break from, like the other day I was so sick and depressed and tired and wicked migraine for days. And as soon as I received Holy Communion, it just lifted. It was just gone for a while. And then it came back hours later, but it was a nice reprieve. It was a nice break. because honestly, I couldn't deal with the pain any longer. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So hopefully this is another encouraging, down to earth, real person from the heart, Catholic, everyday layperson video that will teach others to live this faith properly every day. You don't need to be a priest or a nun or a monk or a pope or a saint. The point is becoming a saint by living this way. And it's not just something you do on Sunday or behind closed doors. It's a mindset, a heart set. It's a lifestyle, 24/7, forever. Because you live now on earth as you will in heaven. So you better start practicing now, because otherwise you're not going to make it up there, and you're not going to want to be up there, and you're not going to know how to be up there when you're up there. So, just be the Catholic Christian you were meant to be. And remember this, out of everything I said in this video, your only goal in life, the reason you're even alive right now and that you were ever even conceived, was because God chose you to live for Him, to love neighbor, and to serve Him and serve neighbor. That's it. Like last night I was sitting there on the couch before bed, and we were watching some historic movie about U.S. Grant or whatever, Ulysses S. Grant, and it occurred to me, if I were to die right now, everything, even my family, everything, my job, money, clothing, food, everything is useless. It's nothing. It's just a necessity. It should not consume you and be your whole purpose for living. You shouldn't live for food, for luxury, for houses, for jobs. You're nothing in God's eyes. All He cares about is, did you serve me and serve your neighbor and love your neighbor? That's it. That's all we have to do. That's our main job, is to just be Christians, proper Christians, and that's it. The rest is just icing on the cake, necessities of life. You gotta work, you need clothes, you need food, okay. But really, you live simply. If you're doing this right, you won't be so focused on all these things that the rest of the world says is so important. Because if you die right now in a car accident, you're not taking anything with you. All your money you save goes to other people. Your clothes are meaningless. Your car is meaningless. Everything's meaningless. It's nothing. Really, think about it. You can't take it with you. You don't need it on the other side. And it's either going to help, whatever you did in life is going to bring you up to sanctity, or it's going to be a weight bringing you down to hell. So remember that. God and people are the most important things in your life. And yourself, but you have to come last. God and people. Love. Love God, love people, and you're living life. That's life. The rest is, like I said, is just necessary evil sometimes, or just necessities. So don't focus on those things. Focus on just being with your God and being with your family. Loving God, loving family, loving neighbor. That's it. Really, that's the heart of the Christian gospel, and that's what Jesus said. He said, that's why I came to set you free. That's what He meant by that. He wants to set us free from this world mindset, this enslavement to society, that we got to have this, we got to have that, we got to do this, we got to have a nice car, we got to be good looking, we got to have sex, we got to have a big house, we got to have a career. That's slavery. That's bondage, because you're so busy on the hamster wheel all the time. And sometimes I was like that. I was trying to be a movie star and all that other stuff, and God shook me and broke my hamster wheel and made me sick and did whatever He had to get my attention and say, look, that's all fine and great to the world, but to me that means nothing to me. And if you want to come up here, that has to go. I need your attention, Steve. So I'm going to have to take a lot away from you and get your attention on me all day long, and get you to a point where it's very uncomfortable for you as a 40-year-old man to be completely like a 5-year-old, dependent on me for everything. That's scary, because the world says that's really unstable. But to a Christian, that's the whole point. Depending on God with such faith and trust, like faith like Moses, that you know that He's going to provide at the last second when you need what you do need. And maybe not what you want, but you'll find out that you will get what you need. And that's it. And you'd be surprised at how little you need in life, really. Clothing, shelter, whatever, food, but you don't need a lot of it. You really don't. In order to just survive the bare minimum, you don't need much. So think simple. I really envy the Amish, honestly, because that was the life that we're all supposed to be living, where we take care of our neighbor, we take care of family. Like in the Amish society, for example, in a real Christian society, not like the world society today, where we're a pyramid scheme slave society, slaves to the people above, and we're all working, little worker ants. God gave me a revelation last night. We're all, you know how like the Civil War abolished slavery, and it took a bloody war to stop slavery, because slavery is wrong, right? And we should never make money off of the bondage of other people. I mean, if you can't do it yourself and make money with your own hands, you don't enslave someone else, right? So we thought that we eradicated slavery, right, during the Civil War. But what these Masonic people did, who run the governments, they were smart. Satan's smart. See, what he did was, okay, everybody's equal now. They're all free. There's no slavery anymore. However, everybody's now equal. Everybody's a socialized government now, a Marxist government. We're all communists now. We're all a slave. Because do you not go to work every day? Do you not work for some rich CEO, pay taxes, everything? This whole system is designed to make the elite rich, and they get to have luxury yachts and mansions, while the rest of us, even if you're upper, middle, or lower class, you're still a slave. You're just a different level of slave. You might be a house slave as opposed to a cotton field slave. But guess what? We're all slaves. White, black, it doesn't matter. You're a slave. You go to work every day, you're paying your taxes every day, you're in the grid, you're on this system, this demonic system, which has nothing to do with God. You're a slave. So nobody should be complaining anymore about the slavery issues of hundreds of years ago, because you know what? We're all slaves now. It's not just white. There's no white privilege anymore, because even white people are slaves unless they're super rich and running and owning companies or running government. They're the ones at the top, but the rest of us, we're slaves. They need us to go to work, to make money, to keep their pockets lined, to keep systems going, societies based on slavery. We are just the world has become a large Egypt. That's all. We're all slaves. We just don't know it, and that's the trick. Taxes, money, greed, sin, the government, all these things have made it so that we don't even realize that we are slaves. See, you bought into it. The American dream, that's nonsense. That's the slave system. But we're stuck. This is a prison planet. We're all slaves, prisoners, whatever. That's just how it is until Jesus returns to free us and do things right. But in the meantime, that's how it is. So I don't want anybody saying, we're oppressed to this and that. No, we're all equal now, because we're all got one thing in common. No matter what your skin color is, no matter what your status, you're a slave. So now you will either be a slave to Christ or you'll be a slave to Satan, and who runs this world and the governments. So that's what he meant by that. He said, I want to free you. I want you to know what's really going on, so you could be free in your mind and heart, and free to serve me and walk away from everything. Yeah, that's why he said to the rich people, leave everything, go sell it, give it to the poor, and follow me. I will provide. Drop your fishing nets and be a fisher of men. Come and follow me. Leave your husband, wife, whatever you have to, and follow me. I mean, not everybody's called to that. Some people have marriage vocations, but the point is, he wants to free us from the daily grind and monotony of that 9 to 5 of having to do this. If everybody did become a Christian, and that's why they want Christians abolished, if everybody just woke up tomorrow a Christian, the economy would collapse. Nobody'd go to work. It would be total chaos and disorder. And then Jesus would have to return right then and there, because the kingdom would have come. So think about that. God enlightened me last night. He's like, Stephen, everything that you worry about, why do you think I tell you stop worrying about what you're going to wear? How are you going to pay for your bills? Where are you going to eat? Where are you going to work? It's like, what, you're asking me for a house of your own. These things mean nothing, really. If you want to serve me and be a saint and save souls, you can't have all that. You're going to have to be cut above the rest, and you're going to have to sacrifice more, and you're going to have to do without, and I will provide. Take only what you need, and I will provide as I have been for you, if you're going to work for me in this caliber. Otherwise, go and get married, or go and be, whatever, but, and maybe you'll make it, maybe you won't, but you can't have it both ways. So I'm learning the hard way, because my mind keeps wanting to go, because out of fear, where am I going to live if something happens to Donna? I mean, I need to get my own place, but Lord, my health is keeping me from getting jobs that I need, and so what am I going to do? And then I hear that little voice: do I not supply your every need? Well, yes. Okay, then keep preaching. Do as I told you. Keep preaching. Be an example. Show them how to be a modern day saint. I took you from a terrible lifestyle in your 20s to the person you are now. And maybe most people in the world with a worldly mindset, not a Christian mindset, will see you as a failure, like, oh, you're a loser. Your health is poor, you're living with someone else, you're 40 years old, you don't have a really good paying job. I have a job, but it's more a humble service of helping people out of charity than it is making money, because I don't make much money at all, not enough to survive. I don't live to eat. I eat to live. I don't live to work. I work to pay my bills so that I can have things, so I can evangelize. I need the phone to evangelize and to keep in touch with people, because you have to have a phone and internet to even have a job in this day and age. So Even my banking's done online. So, it's necessary evils, I call them, that I got to work for, and it stinks. I'd rather be a cloister, live in a monastery somewhere in Virginia in the mountains and just pray all day long and help you guys. I give you more help to people with my prayers and suffering than I can doing this out in the world. But in the meantime, God has to come first, even around my work. So I make my work a prayer. I evangelize when I can. I pray my rosary. I do my prayers throughout the day. I make everything a prayer. And that's it. That's how you do it. You have to fit God in first and always keep him first. And it's a challenge at first. But then once you master it, it becomes like riding a bike. It's second nature. It's all you live for. It's all you think about. It's all you want to do. You just fall in love with the lifestyle. And you don't care what people think anymore. I could care less if I'm fat and ugly. It is what it is. So what? My body is not here for your pleasure, so I'm not going to be sleeping with anybody anymore, so what difference does it make? Unless I get married, it's probably not going to happen. I'm here to serve God and serve you, and to love God and love you, and mostly my specialty is praying for people. I'm an intercessor. I pray, and miracles happen, I'm not bragging, that's all God, but that's what I do. I pray for the dying, I pray for the sick. Some people get healed, some people die, some people come out of comas, whatever. That's what I focus on. That's my talent. That's what I love to do, is helping people when they're at death's door. And snatching their soul from hell at the last minute with power of Christ and power of prayer, getting everything done for them, getting the priest their last, their confession, everything that needs to be done. That's my specialty, and that's what I like to do, praying for people all the time, while the rest of the world's just thinking for themselves. And this is another problem with the system that Jesus was trying to free us from. If you do it the world's way, you are so busy constantly with work and emails and things that you need to focus on. It takes you away from focusing on prayer and God. You're so tired at the end of the day, you don't have time to pray. You're not thinking about sin or God or any of that stuff. You're just trying to survive, right? So Jesus wants to free you from that mindset. You're still going to have to do it, but it's easier to deal with his help. So pray first, and things go smoother every day. If you don't, you're doing it all on your own. And we were never created to do everything on our own. That's too much of a burden for any man or woman to bear. Life is tough. So God helps you lift that burden, So ask him for anything and he will help you. Why do it on your own? Why do you want to? Pride. I'll tell you, a lot of, like my family members will say, stop asking God for everything. Just learn how to be a big boy, put your big boy pants on and go out there and work hard and, do it yourself. Stop asking God for handouts. Are you jealous that he answers me? Well, you never work for yourself. Really? Really? I've had 200 jobs. I'm always working, just not making money. But I'm always working and serving. So what are you talking about? I don't work. Maybe it's not work to you, but it's work to me. I'm helping a lot of people, and so you go and do your 9-to-5 little miserable job. You're miserable. I will do what I'm doing and find joy in it, and I will live a life worth living according to God and myself. And I don't care what you think of me. I really don't care. It's not about you anyway. On Judgment Day, I'm the only one that's going to answer for myself. Nobody can answer for me, but nobody's going to be able to help me. It's just going to be me and Jesus, and I'm either going to go up or down based on my life. So when I think of it that way, who cares what man thinks of me? You're not my judge. You don't even know me. If you knew me, you would love me, because I have a big heart and I love everybody. You have no idea what I would do for people, given the opportunity. If I was a millionaire, it would be gone in a day because I'm handing it out all the time. Like, you have no idea. You don't know me. You might know the person I used to be, which was a worldly person, but that was 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago. I was a whore. I dabbled with everything. I'm done. That's so long ago. Jesus is turning me into a different person, and I'm seeing that more and more now. I didn't like it at first because I'm looking at it with that worldly mindset of, Lord, I lost everything. My looks are gone. My health is gone. My family hates me. I have nothing. You took everything away from me. Who would want to live this life? Why would anybody want to be a Christian? But then I realized the value in it and what he did and how he changed me, and my heart is different. I'm a different person. And I don't ever want to go back. I have no desire for those worldly ambitions anymore. I'm free. When Jesus sets you free, you're free indeed, and I'm actually free from that mindset of having to have more all the time and never being satisfied, no matter how much money or how nice of a car or house or whatever, always trying to please everybody else. Everything I ever did in my life was to please my family, be a movie star, to please them so that I could make them proud and have money and I didn't want to do that. I did it, but with a half heart. I was good at it, so what? I did modeling, big deal. That was a long time ago. I just wanted to be a priest, honestly. But I couldn't tell anybody that until later on in life. I just wish now if I can go back, I would have gone right to Catholic school, not wasted my time in public school, and I would have gotten a better education, and then I would have gone to seminary right away, and I would have been doing something great with my life. But we can't go back, so we do the best we can with what we got now. And so I try to be an inspiration every day. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on this earth. We'll find out from the medical results if I'm dying of cancer or if I'm going to live another decade. I've had so many scares already, and you have it, you don't have it, you have it. Oh, please. Doctors had me dead and buried at 20. I'm 40 now. I'm still here because of God. So I go when he says, and not any sooner. So I don't care if you tell me I have cancer. So what? We'll deal with it. You know? I really don't care at this point. I just want to get the message across to people for the rest of my life that I don't care what you're going to hear, and you're going to hear that there's no Lord, there's no Jesus, there's no heaven, there's no hell. Trust me, there is. Trust me that you're living in a Masonic, Freemason world, Freemason government now, and it's going to continue. The church is falling apart. I mean, people are losing their faith. There's very few of us left, the chosen remnant faithful, to keep doing this, and it's going to be hard. One day I'll be killed or silenced. I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep preaching and singing like a canary until you guys understand why. I would not do this. Do you think I would give up my job, my career, my cars, my homes, my health, my family, everything, if I wasn't absolutely certain about this? My whole reputation, everything's ruined. I don't care, because I know that I know, and I would bet my life on it. And if only you could see and know what I do, you would change just like that too. There's a better way and a better life. It's just not the way you think it should be or that you were taught. But trust me, just start reading the Bible, start praying. It doesn't need to be elaborate. Just talk to him like I'm talking to you, and you're going to see some big changes in your life. I'm telling you, now's the time to choose this day which side you're on. Just pick a side and stay on it, would you? Trust me. All right, guys, have a good day. It's a beautiful day. We don't have many left before the cold comes, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I need your prayers always because of my health issues and finances. But go serve your king.